Oh, ha! It worked, ladies and gentlemen. I am a few minutes early. I like to click that button early because sometimes it just crashes, which is never fun. Hi, everyone. Let me know if my audio is no bueno because despite this little headphone in my ear, I have, earbud, technically. I have no idea. So, before we get into anything to include the disclaimers, I'm just going to read through the comments. Oh, yeah. AR is wondering where Frankly is. Let me explain that. Frankly is the guy who commented on a couple of my videos. A video and a community post saying that discussing Karens is sexist and that I am a scary person and that someone should call my boss and let them know how absolutely aggressive and terrifying I am. For those of you who have seen my streams, I feel like you know better. And I do want to say right off the bat before I forget, Karen is not a term that is limited to a specific gender. It can apply to male and female, although supposedly Ken is being used for men, although that hasn't really caught on. Karen is just someone who feels like they're very entitled. And yes, while it did start because of a woman or specific women or just the internet assigning a label to this phenomena of women being incredibly entitled to the point of potential illegality, it is not limited to women. In fact, I actually have some that are specifically male. I have a compilation that I kind of want to review because that's what the stream is about, is reviewing this situation, determining not how wrong the Karens are, but whether or not they are wrong. And if they are wrong, have they committed a crime, right? I'm not bashing Karens. We're just analyzing what other people have put together as Karens. So if that's sexist, that would be a surprise to me. But they had a whole thing, and they started to say that I was never a real police officer. And I was really excited to have that conversation, but I don't know if they're here. So let me keep reading. Oh, Timothy. That is... Oh, yeah, and Chad. Chad's the other name. Good point. Rennie. Timothy brings up the question, how to donate without losing 30% to YouTube. If you want to support this channel, you can donate through YouTube. You can leave a super chat. Generally, I will read the message, unless, of course, the message is offensive, at which point I'll thank you, but probably won't read it. If I miss it, I will try to go back and find it. Sometimes I do miss them. They slip through the cracks. I'm so sorry. But if you like to support the channel, that is a possibility. However, as Timothy Wilson says, it does take 30%. Let me see if there are any comments saying that my audio is terrible. Nope. Okay, cool. Rennie potentially will be dropping the link to... there is a word. I always forget what it is because I'm not the one who monitors it. It is the PayPal link, and she has access to that, so she uses that to pay for records requests, things like that. So that is a great way. Additionally, I have an Etsy account. If you go Etsy and you look up Sergeant Blue, if you look up Jeremy DeWitt Etsy on Google, you will find my page. I don't have the link handy right now, but that way I get a certain percentage of the profits, and you get yourself a nice, fun piece of clothing. I do have brand new things in my Etsy shop that have not been shown on this channel, which is definitely a possibility. And PayPal Money Pool is what Rennie is telling me. Yes, Rennie being my moderator for those of you who might be new to this. So welcome, everybody. That is an option there if you want to support it. Now, if you want to support this channel, but you're not in a place where you feel comfortable or in a position where you can donate financially, that's fine. Please don't. If you like the video, if you say nice things in the live chat or in the comment section afterwards, fantastic. That is phenomenal, and I love to see it. And thank you guys so much for being here and interacting, because I really enjoy doing this live. Now, that brings us to disclaimers as I'm slowly going through these comments, because I'm just sort of naturally getting into it. So, sorry, I know I was saying I was going to read your comments real quick. As far as this being a live stream, this is a live stream. It's streamed live. It is live. I am live right now. If you're watching this after the fact, I'm not live. There's nothing I can do. Okay? If you're watching this live, hi, welcome. If you're watching after the fact, hi, welcome. However, I cannot change anything after the fact. If there's something going wrong during the stream, you guys that are watching this live are going to have to let me know, because I'm probably not going to be aware. If this is not the content for you, find different content. If this is not the presentation for you, find different presentation. There's going to be interruptions. I'm going to go off on tangents. I'm going to ramble. It's going to be a whole thing. If that is not what you are looking for, I will tell you what the video that we're watching is. You can watch it on your own. And if you complain, not only am I going to stumble over myself, I'm going to be sassy in the comment section. I'm also going to link this moment in the stream to you. It should be about 5.5 minutes. Perfect. That's easy to remember. I will remember it. I will be sassy at you because you had the disclaimer. Okay. Anyway, other disclaimers while I'm doing this. This is not legal advice. Okay. I am going to tell you things from the perspective of law enforcement, former law enforcement. Not everything I say will be applicable to every state. And I'm basically just establishing whether or not I believe there is probable cause. Not enough for a conviction, but probable cause for an arrest. And then I will try to establish if there is a crime and what that crime might be. However, if you're facing this exact charge, do not use my advice. Get an attorney. That is my recommendation, but it's not legal advice. Even getting an attorney is not legal advice. This is just for fun. It should be a stepping stone to go out and find more information, either on your own or from someone else who is a professional in a field. While I'm a professional at establishing probable cause, I'm not a professional at getting a conviction or defending from a conviction in a court of law. All right. Got that out of the way. Where are we? Oh! Lost Jack, thank you so much. Lost Jack says, glad to see you, Blue Bacon. I missed your last couple of streams. Sorry. Buy yourself a beer. Thank you so much. I will. And that reminds me, because I completely forgot. I don't know if you guys remember CP. I bring him up all the time because it amuses me greatly. CP was upset that I was taking donations, which is one of the reasons why I bring up donations in the first place, saying, look, if you can't donate, if you don't want to donate, if that's just not your thing, please don't. Right? I'm not begging for them by any means. He was concerned that I was not 100% transparent with my purchases. And what I will tell you is most of the donations I get go back into this channel. A vast majority of it do. But sometimes people like Lost Jack donate and say, hey, grab yourself a beer, grab yourself dinner, lunch, whatever. And you bet I use it for that. And thank you so much for it. However, I will tell you that today's proceeds, if there are any, of course, other than what Lost Jack has generously donated, someone decided that my car was a good target for vandalism, and I have 2 windows that were smashed on it. So any donations, and please don't try to be like, oh, pity donation. It's cool, all right? It's not going to keep food off my table. However, donations are going to be going into replacing those windows. So that happened within the last couple of days. I hit my car in a parking lot, and I came back to it, and there were 2 windows missing. So nothing appears to have been taken, which is great. We think it was just someone having a bit of fun real quick, and good for them. I'll survive. There are other people it could have happened to that would have been much less able to recover from it. So, I count my blessings, etc. Moving on. Where else are we? Where are we at? We're at 8 minutes. I got a couple more minutes because I was early. So I'm going to do a couple more things because I got time. First of all, what was this that I just saw from Keeping It Criminal? Welcome, Keeping It Criminal. Thank you so much for being here. Good to see you. Do I do any podcasts? I have to look for news broadcasting and a voice for radio. I don't. I've talked about it with a friend of mine. We've never officially gotten together to make that happen or finalized all the details, but there have been talks. I would certainly be interested in it. I don't have time to write the scripts and do the research for a podcast as well, but I would love to be involved in one. Quick update on Jeremy DeWitt before we get started. He had a hearing, I believe it was today, and in that hearing, the prosecution successfully got pictures of Jeremy's arms because he's like, oh, I'm not the person in these videos that I took. And the prosecution's like, yeah, but you have scars on your arms and they can be clearly seen in the video. So they were able to get a judge to compel him under threat of there's some things. What is under threat of? Hold on, I can do this. I know this. Contempt, I assume. Assume he'd be held in contempt if he didn't do it. Basically, he was legally compelled to allow the prosecution to take photographs of his arms to compare those photographs to the videos that they have of whoever is, wearing the body cam or committing various crimes. There was also talk about a plea deal, which seems to be much, much, much more likely, especially considering the fact that the prosecution has officially submitted a request for Jeremy to be tried as a habitual offender, which basically doubles the amount of time he could spend in jail and or prison. So yeah, let's congratulate Jeremy on going to jail, because he's there right now. Good for him. Well done, Jeremy. Good, fine. And some people were in my comment section saying, oh, he'll never get in jail. I have it from an inside source. Like, okay, sure you did, champ. All right. Wait, what happened to David? No, David, no. Oh, I'm glad you're still around. It doesn't seem to have killed you yet. And old gallows humor for you. I'm glad that you could be here, and I hope I'm entertaining. I'm not super exciting yet, but don't worry, it's going to get real heated. Let me see what is happening in my comments before I keep going. Karen's... Oh, Darren. Why has no one said Darren yet? That's genius. That comes from Robert Carley. Timothy... Or Karen Wilson, you are a good person. I have it from good authority. All right, where are we? Are we up to date? Asher, thank you so much. Oh, wow, things just updated like crazy. It was paused. It was weird. C-Car Go, thank you so much. Go buy yourself something pretty. I cost more than $2. Thank you very much. But just a little joke. Thank you so much, Carl. McAddicts, thank you so much. I hope it's enough to anger CP. I mean, help out. I hope so, too. Oh, he's so much fun. Asher, thank you so much. Says, for something clear-ish, window, beer, etc. your choice. I love it. Yes. It's good. I like that. I appreciate it. Richard, thank you so much. Says, have a good dinner with your wife just for the heck of it, or whatever you see fit, sir. Stay safe. Thank you so much. I don't have a wife, but my girlfriend will be very tickled that you thought she was mine. I'm sure she's very upset that she isn't yet. Pedmets, thank you so much. Always good to have you here. Greens from the Sunshine State, where it rains every afternoon. Hope all is well. It's raining here as well. It got a little cloudy. A lot of wind, which is nice because it's been just too hot. All right. CP is a very good fundraiser. So I feel like we should move on to this. And for our first video, you know what? Let's do some mail Karens just to make some people... so people aren't like, you're being sexist. All right, here we go. Boop. All right, let's do the old full screen there. All right, so, okay, let me first hit you with the name of this. It is Top 5 Male Karens Getting Angry number 2 by Retail Nightmare. In case you want to see this for yourself and give credit to the original, presenter of this information. Okay. I'm sure they have some sort of narration. We're going to skip past it.
Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome.
If the audio is no bueno, let me know.
Back to another
let's do this.
No reason. Now we have a lot of Karens to get through.
A lot of Karens.
Ken ride his bike through there on the bike trail.
Okay.
And probably not come back to suggest that he did it. And then
we're gonna do a video.
That's not
on why you're just putting
accent?
Sticks deliberately middle of the trail.
Oh, okay. Real quick. I'm going to do this as if it is within the United States. This appears to be United Kingdom somewhere. Probably England, but, I'm no expert. We're going to pretend that they're just they're tourists in America, and that sort of saves me the trouble of being like, but British law is different, but there's slight differences that would really, hem me up. Although there are a lot of similarities, it is not a one-for-one direct translation. So, just that out of the way.
Okay. Prove it. I just watched you do it, love.
Did you? Excuse me. This is a trail. You go to mountain bike trail parks. I mountain bike myself. You go to trail parks.
Okay, fair enough.
This is Epping Forest.
And I dabbed the brakes straight round the corner, and I said hello. Bang the bell on.
Yeah, AR. I'm going to make him explode.
Zooming down there full pelt. You weren't paying any attention to.
Okay, let me break down what's happening here. I did skim through this. So you have a walking trail that may or may not be for bicycles as well. You have these people who appear to have placed debris in the road to stop cyclists. Now, the woman there, the way she's saying, well, you don't know. Oh, what did I do? Although that may not be enough to, get a confession. Or no, excuse me, that's not a confession, right? She's not admitting to it in court. That's not going to be super strong, although it certainly could be used maybe circumstantially. That is excellent for some sort of interrogation, something that I would do if I had this video and I had her in front of me. And I said, you never denied it. You act very flippant. This is obviously behaviorally you did it, and you're just not going to admit it in camera, but you're very full of yourself, and therefore this is why you're being all smug about it. Obviously, I'm not going to say it like that, but that is going to be sort of where I'm directing the conversation, just much, much more politely. I'm going to say it in a way that makes it clear without being insulting. It's just that is generally a lot more time consuming. I don't want to put you guys through 4 hours of, how I would interrogate this. No, that's absolutely not going to happen. Luke Alpha. Yeah. So, the American take on this is very likely going to be different. Or actually, it might be somewhat similar to the British take. Luke Alpha is saying that they're British, which I don't know if I knew that. I know you hang out in my live stream chats, but always good to see that. Is who is you? Congratulations on being married. What do you want? What do you want for your gift? I can't promise it. Oh, Max Power says that this is Epping Forest in Greater London, Essex area. So we're going to assume that this is Epping Forest. Oh, did he say Epping? I thought he said Effing Forest. That makes sense. All right, checks out. My bad. So this guy appears to be a cyclist, potentially, or someone who's upset. The way that they are talking to him seems to indicate that he is a cyclist, and they are pedestrians, and are saying cyclists aren't allowed on this road. Now, we're going to keep going. Just keep that in mind that it's the context that I am aware of.
What's going on?
Chrissy Wilson, I have watched the behavior panel, and I love it. I don't watch it enough. I don't have the time to go through, because those tend to be pretty long. But I do definitely enjoy them. John Coyote, thank you. It's a good one, isn't it?
We had to get out of the way.
So what is that?
Okay, see, there's the... Well, hold on.
Paying any
There's
attention
the
to what's
debris.
going on about it. We had to get out of the way.
So what is that?
Yeah, that's going to mess you up. If you're on a bike, that's going to mess you up. Taco Josh Gaming, good to have you here. Good to see you. Thank you so much. Says, great to see you, Mr. Bacon. Hope you are well, and great seeing you in some of the same chats. I know, I like to pop into other people's stuff and harass them a little bit. By harass them, I mean just be super sassy at the people that are being discussed. Generally, people being discussed deserve a little sass, in my personal opinion. But, yeah. So Max Powers is agreeing with me here, saying, yeah, this is to discourage cyclists. This is more than discourage. Discourage would be like a sign saying, don't cycle here. This is, if you cycle here, you're going to get hurt, which in America would certainly put you at fault if there was an accident, if you were putting there. I think the intent is pretty clear to establish here. So under tort law, basically in a civil case, you got a real good case if you can establish that it was these people, which doesn't seem terribly difficult to do. Certainly they haven't made it very clear, but listening to them speak, all the indications are there that they're not admitting to it, but they've basically done it. They're saying, well, it was done because you were doing this, right? Well, obviously someone had to do it, and it had to have been done while that guy was doing whatever he was doing, which is cycling down this path, and they were the only ones there, so logically they were the only ones that could have done it, which is how you would get them. That's how you would deliver that sort of obviously it was you. Would it hold up? I would like to think so. However, court doesn't always go the way that you want it to. And what is going on? I'm getting a text message from Rennie. Why are you sending me that same text message? Anyway, doesn't matter. Hey, Matt, thank you so much. It's me. How's it hanging? It's, other than my car windows being smashed, pretty well. Angry Drunk Bumblebees. You've been here before. Thank you so much. Is that your gasket blowing, CP venting, or is it the sound of you spending the money you see fit? Let's on short shorts. Those things are criminal and worthy of capital punishment. Oh, just you wait. Till I get my my OnlyFans going, and I got all the short shorts. That's a joke, by the way, although maybe not. OnlyFans, for those of you who don't know yet but are familiar with what OnlyFans is banning adult content. Good luck with them. It's interesting to see how that works out for him. But hey, you know, it's not my business. I'm not running it. I don't use it. So unaffected. Just thought it was funny. Timothy Wilson, thank you so much. And that is one heck of a sticker. Is that a lemon? Love it. Sylvie Cavalier asks if I watched the Easy Hate Auditor SGB news first. Yeah, I've put out a couple videos basically explaining why he's not as smart as he thinks he is. I'll be polite about it. All right, back to this though.
I have no idea.
No idea.
Ooh, I don't know.
Do you know what?
That doesn't matter what that is.
Because
It does though. It actually very much matters what that is.
Mountain bike
If it's in
trail.
your way, move it.
You're
And
not
it's
on
not
a mountain bike
trail.
trail.
Okay.
Pim Forest, he has the right to do here as much.
yes, exactly.
I
Exactly.
didn't say you can't cycle.
Exactly.
Another person who's got involved says he has as much right to use his force as he sees fit as you do. Even if he wasn't allowed to do that, this still would be illegal. This would be an issue, right? It's sort of like a booby trap, right? I can't booby trap my house. If someone breaks in and they're injured by a booby trap, I am liable for that. They were wrong. But there you go. Now, what law would this fall under? I want to say some sort of reckless endangerment of some type. Now, I think some states only use reckless endangerment if a vehicle is involved, but that might not be true. I wanted to think malicious mischief, but malicious mischief, at least in my state, is only damage to property and not damage or manipulation of property to injure people, because this is obviously the intent to injure people. I think malicious mischief might be the closest thing to this. It would fall under some sort of engaging in activity with the intent to do harm. And I'm certain there is something that is just not coming to mind. Someone else might know it. If I showed up as a police officer to this scene, I would detain them, and I would call someone with a lot more experience than me and say, hey, do we have a crime here, or do I just facilitate the exchange of information for a potential civil suit, etc.? So, my best guess is reckless endangerment, although I don't think that one is 100%. This is one that I'd have to detain them and call. Basically say, hey, what do we got? You know, I'm thinking this, I'm thinking that. None of them quite fit, but there's got to be something. And I'm certain there is. It's just not coming to my head. So, unfortunately, that's all I got. What? Oh, Sarah Marie, only the hardcore stuff. Oh, talking about OnlyFans again. So apparently OnlyFans isn't banning all adult content. So nudity is still cool, maybe, just not the actual act of fornication. You know, either with a person or an object, I assume. That's what I'm being told just now in my chat. I have no way to confirm this at the moment. Matt Bond, thanks so much. Superman is used to wind in his your face. Oh, wind. I'm sorry. Wind in his... I see. Thank you so much. Irish Girl, thank you so much. What is an example of a blue bacon booby trap? I will explain after I thank Sean Vest for saying good to see me. It's good to see you, Sean. Thank you so much. Booby trap example. All right, here's what my booby trap is. And legally isn't a booby trap because I had a great discussion with a friend of mine, a couple friends of mine actually, one of them being Rennie, about what kind of booby trap could I use that isn't illegal? Now, technically, legally, a booby trap is something that you sort of set and forget, right? Like a spike pit, right? Is designed to cause injury or death, and it is triggered by the person that is meant to harm. So if I had Home Alone, for example, where he has the paint can on the string, when you open the door and it swings down and hits you in the face, that would be a booby trap. And then so would every single other thing in that house that Kevin McAllister sets up. That is illegal. You cannot do that. So I'm in my house thinking, if I could set up a booby trap type situation, what would I do? It would have to be something that I trigger, not them, but me. And if I'm allowed to shoot someone in self-defense who's breaking my home, let's say, for example, a person's armed, breaking into my home, and I meet all the legal requirements for self-defense, what could I use other than a gun? Assuming that I had all the legal requirements met to use a gun met, right? Words are hard. Can't use explosives because I don't have a license to possess explosives. There was a theory put out like, oh, what if you had like an aerosol, like ether or chloroform, knock them out? Well, you know, that'd be unlawful administration of a controlled substance potentially. or poisoning even, that definitely wouldn't be illegal. And my thought was get a big log, put spikes on it, hang it from the ceiling on a chain, and when I trigger it, it swings down. Now, in this theoretical, let's say that there was no way for this to be set off, there was no way for it to degrade or become dangerous in any way unless I triggered it. Legally, would that be a problem? Assuming that it definitely was going to kill someone and there was no chance of it maiming and causing injury unnecessarily, and the death was instant. Could I do that? I don't know. That would be my booby trap, but technically, legally, it's not a booby trap. So, and whole thing, just me rambling. I told you there could be ramblings. So, pie in the face isn't a booby trap. Well, if it doesn't do harm, not necessarily, although maybe it would be some sort of assault because it's unwarranted, unwanted, offensive touching. But I don't know. Trip mine. See, trip mine is a booby trap. Also, generally, you cannot possess a trip mine. If you manufacture one, it's unlawful manufacturing of explosives, unless, of course, you have a license to do so, which is unlikely for a booby trap. And then, of course, the possession of the explosive material itself, if you did not manufacture it. Both of those are super duper illegal. You've got the ATF knocking on your door, and by knocking on your door, I mean blowing through it and arresting you. That'd be a huge thing. While legally, yes, that would be a booby trap, making it illegal. There are a lot of other things that would be associated with using explosives to protect yourself or your home or your property. So it's a whole thing. I could use Motor One's rucksack. Sean Vest, thank you. And yes, I'm sure he's got something in there worth using. And C. Carl Go, thank you so much. That means I can't order stuff from Acme anymore. You could get an anvil as long as you trigger it yourself and it's not triggered by the Roadrunner, for example. So when Wile E. Coyote has a tree and an anvil and a rope, when he saws through that rope, that's not a booby trap because he's the one triggering it. If I'm correct in how booby traps work, I've never had to enforce booby trap law. So I think I'm right, but I've never tested this knowledge. Boob law. That's Rennie. Yes? What are you sending me? Oh, direct statement from Only... We didn't have to read this, Rennie, but Rennie has sent me a direct statement from OnlyFans. Effective 1st October 2021, OnlyFans will prohibit the posting of any content containing sexually explicit conduct. In order to ensure the long-term sustainability of the platform, you can need to host an inclusive community of creators and fans. And it goes on, it goes on, it goes on. They will be continue to creators will continue to be allowed to post content containing nudity as long as it is consistent with our acceptable use policy. So yeah, nudity is still cool. All right, OnlyFans might survive. Anyway, what if I don't push the button? They push it. Then you'd probably get to argue intent, right? Did you intend to push it? Did they push it? I mean, there are all sorts of things. What's the... Something nuisance is where if you have something designed to look like something that wants to be pressed or touched or interacted with. Not compelling nuisance. It's used with kids sometimes. It's attractive nuisance. TC, yes, you win points. Thank you. Attractive nuisance. If you have something that if I had a snowman and I was like, look, that's a snowman. And then some kids played with it, but the entire thing was filled with explosives. That would be an attractive nuisance because it was something that, anyway, it's a whole thing. Booby trap law gets weird. I would say if I had a button and they pushed it, that would be a booby trap. If I had the button and the odds of them being able to push it were very, very slim, I could argue that no, there was never an intent for them to do that. Sort of like, compared to a gun for home defense, because that's sort of the standard legal issue. And wow, are we on a tangent, but I love it. If I had a gun, right, that I used for self-defense, its intent, its existence was for self-defense, and someone broke into my home and took it and shot themselves in the thigh with it. All right, it would be nice to say the thigh. Is that a booby trap if they used it on themselves? No. Because it's not... Am I liable? See, now we're getting into some weird stuff that I am not prepared to answer. I would say depends on the situation, depends on the setup, depends on where the button is, what the button is, what is happening, who is pushing it, what the chances are. That one has the potential to get very complicated. That one I cannot answer without getting into some real in-depth stuff where we get a lot of details. If I say don't touch that, they could certainly, I think, still sue me for creating a dangerous environment. Because if it's right next to the door, I can't push that in defense of my home. But if it's like on the other side of the house and I have cameras and I know exactly where they are and I push it, well, then there's no chance of them pushing it. And I feel like I have a pretty decent defense at that point. But if it's somewhere that they can push it, not so much. Right? Okay, here we go. If the button is in an area where they would be affected by the push of that button, I would say it's a booby trap. If by pushing the button they activate something that is not going to harm them or affect them in any way, I would say it's not a booby trap. Legally, I cannot tell you how this would go in court. However, this is how I would approach it if I was responding to an incident where this had happened as law enforcement. That is where I would draw the line. Max Powers, that's a booby trap, for sure. The push button to open safe and activates a naval cannon at the user. Although, I do love the idea. Archangel for Truth, I feel like that's not a booby trap. Booby trap generally is... one of the legal requirements usually, I believe, is that it is intended to do harm. It is it uses or creates or is a dangerous weapon type of situation. Spike Pit doesn't have a button, James, but it would be triggered by the person that is meant to affect. So that would be a booby trap. What about releasing the hounds? That would just be straight up assault. Depends on if you had the licenses to have attack dogs, if they were trained as attack dogs, if they were insured, if you were the one releasing them. That's the whole thing. Although, if you just have dogs in your backyard and someone jumps in, if you have beware of dog signs, that's the reason for those beware of dog signs. Basically, protect yourself against the civil liability of injury that someone might sustain if they jump that fence. They knew there was a dog there, but they went in anyway. That's their responsibility. I feel like, all right, Matt, thank you. Says, what if we put a jigsaw sign? Just still illegal. C. Carl Go, thank you. Says, do not push this button. Yeah, I mean, that we could, oh boy. So this is now a booby trap stream. Let's get back to the Karens. I feel like we may have analyzed this one enough.
So, somebody's done that to
How
me.
a bunch.
Got 6 dogs.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
Wait, what?
How old are you? Grow up.
I've heard nothing
How old
but
are you,
politeness.
my
I'm a
friend?
dog
Mate.
lover. I've got 6 dogs. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
grow up,
you
man.
can't put sticks there. Look, there's
Grow
sticks
up.
there. You've been swearing like on
Oh.
the scaffold, right?
When he
You
says,
swear.
don't
Swear.
Don't put beware of dogs, just put dog on premises. It's been proven in court that beware implies they're vicious. Well, I mean, I feel like legally that would be better. Right? Maybe? Because you're like, look, they knew that that dog had a higher likelihood of biting them than, the standard dog. Maybe, I no, not better. Oh, not better. All right, put dog on premises, not beware of dog, I guess. Huh. Courtney. That's good. All right.
What is that?
Just give it forward, something about walking dogs.
You
Oh, yeah, they start
chauvinist.
moving.
Me.
Like
Listen
there's
to
some
me.
You
sidewalks
chauvinist.
there. Bits of, I assume, shale.
Stick the do-gooder.
Yeah.
That would do some damage.
Okay, so this gentleman was flying his drone on a owns the beat. Now, the
Drones.
drone-
Yes, this one I've seen this one before. Context is this is Alabama, and I think when I originally looked into it, Alabama did not have any state drone laws. That doesn't mean that the location this took place in does not have drone laws. But Alabama, to my knowledge, does not, which means that FAA law applies. Yeah. All right, that feels right. Alabama. All right, Alabama. FAA being Federal Aviation Administration, which is federal law on flying federal law on anything basically in the air, though drones fall under the 107, I think. The FAA rules, and if you look up FAA rules 107, you're going to find it, I think, which is drone use commercially and for recreation. Cannabis Jones, good to have you here. I think some people mistook you for someone else in the comment section discussing sovereign citizens. Says you only need the trap just to make it an accident, just like a watertight room with warning signs. They enter and it floods. It was accidental. Yeah. Like, oh, you happen to be in a flood tank. It was the craziest thing. How'd you end up there? Maybe depends really. But thank you for donating.
Telling him where he can and can't fly the easily
All right.
dressed because
I don't need your commentary.
Authorities.
But thank you.
I don't care. This is a public beach.
All right.
Again, it's
You have an operator.
FAA regulations.
There's no FAA regulation. This is
I've had too many
unrestricted
complaints.
airspace.
Okay, I'll tell you what. If you don't ground them,
I am not going to
will be
fly
kicked
again.
out.
I'm not going to fly again, but I'm letting you know
understand?
this is.
Okay, saying he's being kicked out, which makes me think this is a private beach that may be open to the public. If that is the case, he can be stopped from filming under threat of trespass, basically. The law wouldn't really apply to the drone. It would just be, you need to leave, get out, don't come back to this beach. I don't know what kind of drone. I want to say that's a DJI drone. Fantastic drones. Expensive, though, but couldn't tell you.
This is unrestricted
I will
airspace.
call Orange Beach PD.
I told you I'm not going to fly.
All right, Orange Beach. Orange Beach. I do know Orange Beach. That's right, because I looked this up once upon a time. Orange Beach is within 5 miles of an airport. It's a national airport. I don't remember which one it is. But if you are flying within 5 miles of an airport, as of I want to say 2018, maybe 2019. I think it's 2018. You have to let FAA know. Or sorry, yeah, you have to let the airport know, the FAA at the airport know, and they have to approve it. And that way they're just tracking you so they don't have anything flying under 400 feet, which is the maximum ceiling that you can put a drone, 400 feet above wherever the operator is generally. And then, of course, you have to obey the flight restrictions on, the flight ceilings of where you can fly, where you can't. I fly drones recreationally, so this is something I'm generally very familiar with to a degree. I haven't checked up on the laws recently, so maybe I'm a little out of date on this. But yes, I mean, they appear to be under whatever the flight ceiling would be. The clouds are not low enough to be a concern. The weather does not appear to be a concern. It's not too windy to fly. It's not raining. You have a pilot and someone who could act as an observer. Like, everything seems to check out. But if this is a private beach that's open to the public, even if it's not open to the public, you got to stop or else trespass. So,
Again.
I know you're not.
I'm not going to fly again, but this.
Seacrow, go. Thank you so much. Says DJI software won't launch the drone in restricted airspace. If it's a DJI and it flew, it was unrestricted. Very good point. This is true. To a degree, there are certain types of restricted airspace where it will not launch. There's some where it says you are in an airspace you need to be cautious of. Are you sure? Now, I've never tried to fly it in restricted airspace. I've flown it in, don't go under 200 feet type airspace. So there are restrictions, but I can still fly as long as I do it correctly. And the drone will be like, I'm not going above 200 feet. I can set it actually to not go above 190 just in case. But if you get permissions, there's got to be a way around that. I've just never tried because I don't fly my drone in restricted airspace if I can help it. But the software on DJI drones is really good. I love it. But by us, you're not allowed to fly a drone above 10 meters if you don't have paperwork. Yeah, there are spaces where that's absolutely true. And of course, you have to have your drone registered. It has to be all this thing. And they just changed the weight requirements for something that doesn't affect me, so it doesn't matter. But it does affect people getting the Mavic Minis, I guess, which I never got. So that's all right. But drones. Drones are complicated. The drone law gets weird. And the punishments for violating the FAA rules, they basically get to make stuff up. Be like, well, we're going to fine you up to $25,000. We get to decide how much it is. It's a whole thing. Usually they're pretty nice about it, from what I understand. But National Airport Restricted Space in Virginia. Yeah, no, that'll do it. But yeah, so as far as the 5 miles from an airport, they are within 5 miles from an airport. I do not know when this was filmed. It could have been 2018 or earlier. So I'm going to give them that. If you want to know if you're flying drones and you want to know if the place you are flying in is cool, there's a really great app called Before You Fly. I think it's B, the number 4, and then the letter U, and then fly. I think, and it will tell you if where you're standing has any restrictions, and you can put in coordinates, and it'll tell you if that place has any restrictions. It's fantastic. I recommend it if you are flying drones. Cannabis Jones, thank you so much. Says it wasn't my plan, and I have no crayons. Fair. All right. Drone.
This is unrestricted airspace.
Oh, that's where you're wrong.
This is no. What's your name, sir?
Anywhere from that pole up belongs to Summertex.
Summertex, I don't know what Summertex is. That doesn't make it restricted airspace, by the way. It just means that if they're on it and they're doing a thing that the people don't want them to do, that's trespassing. And once they've been notified that they are trespassing, they have to leave, although they have not been notified to leave yet, so they're not trespassing at this point. They've just been told to stop the activity, which is sort of like a prelude to trespassing. Although this guy has not identified himself as a representative of whoever owns this property, so it's even if he says leave, that may not hold up.
You understand?
This beach right here belongs to Summer
all the way
Chase.
to that pole.
That pole, so we can step right down
Go
past
right
that
ahead.
pole. Okay, I'm gonna step
Too
down this
inches.
right past the pole. What's your name, sir?
Go ahead. I
What-
know you're staying here. You
What's
want
your
to
name,
be a
sir?
victim?
What's your
Yes,
name?
you've been told.
What is your name, sir?
Don't worry about it.
What is your name,
You've
sir?
been told. Not flying.
What's your name, sir?
I've had way too many complaints from these people.
What's your name, sir?
I've had way too many complaints.
What is your name, sir? Do you
He better figure it out real quick. All right, so if he's claiming to be an employee but not identifying himself, you got a pretty good argument that you were never informed by an employee to stop. Now, should he keep going? Probably not, because at that point, it's going to escalate into something you probably don't want to be involved in. But yeah, they have to. I mean, landing your drone at this point would be a good idea. Who is wrong? Potentially nobody, right? The people flying the drones weren't wrong until they were told, and now they're landing the drone. That's totally cool. This guy, I mean, if he's an employee, he gets to tell him to stop. No, he wasn't terribly nice about it, but is any of this illegal? I would say no, not at this point.
work here?
Yeah, actually I do.
All right, what's your name, sir?
You'll see me up here. Come on up here.
What's your name, sir?
Yeah, I definitely send this to management and say, hey, do you know this guy? Because, wow. But, meh.
What is your name? If you have no name, you don't work here.
Fair point. That's legally, that actually isn't a bad point. Is it a perfect point? No. But it's actually really not bad.
What's your name, sir?
Okay. My situation. Jonathan Kelly, you may be correct about that. With certain certifications, can fly basically anywhere. But that generally is, they're certified in a way that's like, hey, you still have to do all of this, but you know it gets approved pretty quickly, I assume. If the guy kept flying and the police got involved, because that's basically what would happen at that point, I assume. If I was the one arriving, I'd say, did someone tell you not to fly? Were you actually trespassed? And if you said, well, some guy told me not to, but he wouldn't identify himself as an employee, I'd be like, all right, cool. I'd go inside and say, hey, does an employee want him to stop? Yes or no? If it's yes, I'd come out and say, all right, you got to stop. I'm not going to officially trespass you because this, legally, I would consider this your first warning. I'm not going to like issue you a citation. I'm not going to whatever. I do want your ID so that we can track, you know, who you are, and depending on what state, I might be able to do that. I might not. It really depends. But anyway, so we move on.
Okay, so basically, the apparent demand is police officer.
All right, the drone. Now you all guys know how complicated drone law gets. Hooray!
Are you single and tired of canceled plans and flaky dates? Events and Adventures is a social...
No. Stop it. No. Okay. We got context. The context is parking lot. That is it. All right. DJI Matrix 300. Oh. Anyway.
You're accusing me of stealing this.
Wait, hold on. Where's that? I have no idea what that is. Anyone know that? Let me know, because I don't. EB Plus, not something I'm familiar with.
Accusing me of stealing, dude.
And over here. Right over here. Look at this dude. Who are you, man?
Who are you? Don't worry about it, man.
Don't worry about it. Huh? Are you a cop or what?
Yeah, what's up?
Well, let me.
Oh, uh-oh. All right, so problems. Dude's being accused of stealing. I don't know if that's true. What authority does this guy have to do anything about it? Pretty much nothing. He can't hold that guy there. And in fact, this may constitute harassment. If he stops the guy from leaving, that's unlawful detention. If he is a police officer, he doesn't appear to be on duty. Therefore, he has no authority as a police officer. If he's not, he's just probably committed a felony by impersonating a police officer, by trying to get someone to do something and using the authority of a police officer, which he may not have. I do not know if he's a police officer or not. However, $150,000 drone? I got distracted by the comments. That's insane. Anyway, okay, it's Texas grocery store. All right, that checks out. This guy looks Texas. Nothing wrong with that. I know a lot of people from Texas, and a lot of them just like this. Something in the water. Nothing wrong with it, though. 100,000. Oh, yep, film drones, because they carry the big cameras. Yeah, yep, that checks out. With the whole gimbal. Oh, if I had money. If I had stupid money. That's insane. Love it, though. Anyway, at what point does a cop who's off duty and steps into a bad situation then have authority? Courtney Dobbs asked, and that's a good question. Basically, when they witness a misdemeanor breach of the peace or a felony. And each state is going to be different, but basically they get the same rights as any citizen, which is a citizen's arrest. Now, a police officer probably is going to be able to do it a little bit better because they know how an arrest is supposed to take place, and they should be familiar with citizens' arrest laws in their area. But this guy, I don't see a misdemeanor breach of the peace. I don't see a felony. So he has probably no authority if he's off duty right now. So, the camera's another 300,000. Oh, yeah. Oof. Sorry, we're just drooling over drones in the comment section.
Let me see your ID then. Let me see your badge. Let me see your badge.
Now, does the guy have to show a badge? No, he does not, because he's not identifying as active duty law enforcement. He's just saying, I am actually police. If he's telling the guy to stay there, then yes, a badge may be relevant, and actually would be absolutely relevant if he is on duty. But he doesn't appear to be, because he's not taking any action that would be consistent with an on-duty police officer. Does he have to show a badge off duty? No. Unless you have a specific department policy, I would say no. But anyway, he could be working asset protection. That's true. But even asset protection is generally limited in what they can do. They can't hold someone on the property. They can document it. They can maybe try to stall within reason for police to arrive. But generally what loss prevention is going to do is they're going to notice the issue, the theft, larceny, whatever. They're going to call the police, and they're going to have that person arrested. If the police don't show up in time, all right, too bad. But eventually, they often get to the point, if this is a repeat offender, where they recognize a person, call the police ahead of time, and they get that jump on them. Now, sometimes what they'll do is say, hey, do you mind following me into my office real quick? That's a voluntary request. Now, if you fail to do it, you could be trespassed from the property, and that's, absolutely something that the property can do is trespass. You're like, all right, cool. If you don't want to come to the office, you can't come back into the store because we suspect you of stealing. However, we cannot actually hold you here. So it's a whole thing. But Jordan says, does an off-duty... I almost tried to say your last name, and I stopped myself. I'm sorry. Does an off-duty police officer have any more authority if he works in the location that a crime is being committed? I would say no. Although, Iowa Hank says, when I was a cop, I had police powers 24/7. In that case, yes. If you can put yourself on duty like that, then fantastic. I did not have that for the most part. As a sergeant in the Army, I had certain authority to detain soldiers. However, I couldn't do really anything about civilians unless it was actual threat to the security of the installation, at which point I'm basically protected by 50 U.S.C. 797 and a few other things. The whole thing, we're not going to get into it. But I was very, very limited. And because I was military on a military base, that's what gave me the authority. Certain civilian police would not have any authority. However, if Iowa Hank is correct, then that might not be the case. So full-time officers do, part-time / reserve officers don't where I live, I was told, says Justin Humphreys. All right, well, there you go. Then certainly an off-duty police officer may be able to have full police powers even off-duty. However, I've certainly read case law that would indicate otherwise, so this is going to be location-specific. Unless things have changed significantly, which is entirely possible. So...
Let me see your badge number.
Why? You got
You got a badge number?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I saw you in the store.
You saw me walk out without paying for it?
I saw you walk through the store.
And?
Oh, wow. How about that?
Yeah.
Call somebody else, dude. Call. There we go.
Can we see your receipt?
How about that?
This guy right here, he says he's an officer.
Okay, so here's your officer right there, presumably wearing the cowboy hat. So yeah, obviously Texas. I don't know what the other guy's involvement is. I don't have the full context. I can't fully articulate anything, but I don't know if the guy was being held there or if he just voluntarily doing whatever. Now, if that officer was me, what I would do is say, hey, you were detained, stay right there. I'd probably have a second officer come in to watch him under suspicion of theft. And I'd go inside, I'd talk to loss prevention and say, hey, do you have any indication the guy was stealing? And if at that point they say, no, we do not, cool, the guy's free to leave. He says, yes. I'd be like, cool, show me the footage. And then we watch the footage. I'm not going to, if they don't suspect him of stealing, I may not give them time to find it. I'm like, look, all right, cool. So depending on the area, I think Texas, you have to be arrested to provide ID, so I couldn't just get ID off him when he was detained. I'd probably let him go. Be like, all right, cool. And then if loss prevention came up with something, like, great, now you have his face. Now you know. But I can only detain him reasonably. So if they can pull up that footage within 30 seconds, I'd probably allow that. If it takes them 5 minutes, no, that guy's being released. Almost certainly, depending on the value of what's taken. It's a whole thing. Leon Juice says, Blue Bacon, the issue we have is criminal pretend to be cops so they can carjack us when they pull us over. Oh, I just saw a video about someone trying to do that. It's terrifying. We're going to have to go over that sometime. Yes, that's absolutely terrifying. If you believe that someone is not a police officer, if you're approached by anyone in plain clothes saying, I'm a police officer, go, cool, I'm going to call 911 to confirm that. If they get upset, run. I mean, don't, again, not legal advice. A police officer in plain clothes should not be concerned if you call 911 to check to confirm they are police. Now, if you're like obstructing the investigation, if you're taking 5 minutes to call 911, then sure. But if the mere mention of calling 911 to confirm sets them off, that's a problem. And I'm not saying they aren't police officers. I'm saying that is a problem. And even if they are police, you're going to want 911. If they stop you from calling it, I mean, you could articulate that is obstructing a 911 call. That is interfering with a 911 call, which is a crime. In certain circumstances, police can do that. But it's very specific circumstances. So, moving on.
Says I didn't pay for my food now. He's humiliating me in front of everybody here. Me off. This is paid for. Okay. I got a receipt. Okay.
911 doesn't answer the phone all the time? That's terrifying. Ooh.
He said he said he saw me not pay for it. He's lying.
I saw you pay for the food at the chicken place, but I didn't see you pay for the dog food.
What's this sticker, man? What's this sticker?
That's not a sellout. Just talk to me first. Listen to me. You gotta go home right now. Here's your day.
I got a problem. I got a problem with law enforcement to begin with, man.
Okay. Well,
I've had some bad because of.
Okay. So I like that the officer trying to calm him down. But what's going to probably calm him down the best is saying, sir, if you have a receipt, I'm happy to send you on your way, and I'll hold this guy here and have a talk with him. Okay. If you don't have a receipt, this guy's accusing you of theft. I do want to talk, see if anyone else can confirm this. That's what should be happening. Maybe that's what's about to happen. I don't know.
Because of tyrants like him.
Okay, so this
Okay, well, I guess we'll never find out. All right, that's a shame. But now you guys know. All right, who was wrong? I honestly don't know. I don't have the full context. I don't have the ending. I don't have the beginning. If the plainclothes guy was off duty and he was holding the guy there, he is absolutely committing a crime. Almost certainly. I'd say 90%. If the guy was stealing, obviously he's committing a crime, but there is not enough evidence for me to really put anything together from that. If I was investigating the situation from that video, of course I would contact them and I'd get more sides of the story. But that's, I can't give you a who's wrong on that one.
Gentleman was walking down the street. Very dangerous. A lot of things. Let's have a look.
Zach, get the way. Like, dude, you must have coronavirus, you stupid mother. Yeah. No.
Okay, well that's, oops, sorry. That's reckless driving right there. I would articulate that. Excessively driving in reverse, or driving in reverse at excessive speed without doing, does he check his mirrors? Does he look? You can't tell. It's difficult to tell. He's looking behind him, but stop it. No, I have.
Anyone who knows me knows I am a gym rat, but I was not able to go to the gym. So I was like, how can I make home work for me?
So as you can see here, the gentleman driving is very timid and he's a very dangerous driver and he's putting other people's lives at risk. But things go very downhill from here. He immediately comes at him.
Alright, that's fair. Yeah, getting the license plate. I would not stand right behind the vehicle to get it. Don't... Rennie. Yeah, get the license plate. That's great. That's fantastic. Get a picture of the person, get a picture of the license plate, VIN number. You're probably not going to get it, so don't go for it. I would not stand directly behind that guy after he just drove like that. Or, don't stand behind anybody. Don't. Because you're putting yourself in danger with someone who is that aggressive. Has anything they've said, is that criminal? I would say no. However, I would certainly be willing to cite them for the manner in which they drove in reverse. Just that speed. That seemed a little dangerous to me.
You on vacation. You must be bored as dude. Dude.
Uh-oh.
Look at my eyes. Hey, yeah, look through the phone. You can't look me in the eyes. Because, dude, look how sad. Look at her. Look at her. You can't even get a girl that's pretty, bro. Doesn't that suck? Doesn't that suck? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay, so this contract...
Alright, so the only crime I can detect here is that driving. I don't know what the context of this was, how it started, whatever. I'm guessing the guy, I would assume maybe the guy was driving a little crazy and the guy called him out and then they had that interaction. But traffic citation, probably nothing more than that. Is there a limit to how far you can drive in reverse? I would say no. However, the manner in which he drove in reverse, I think he entered an intersection reverse, which I'm fairly certain you are not allowed to do if this is a public road.
Zach, get the way.
Yeah, that's an intersection. You can't
You
drive
must have
backwards.
coronavirus, you stupid mother. Yeah.
Not like this.
Yeah.
Not the way he did it.
Oh.
Definitely too fast. It sounded like his wheels broke traction, which is a citable offense in my state at the very least. I would say excessive speed, dangerous operation of vehicle, unlawfully entering an intersection might apply. I'm sure there's something specifically about driving in reverse. But there's a whole thing. Hi, Judy. How's it going? Good to have you here. But reverse citation means the police officer pays for it. I love it.
Bro.
But yeah, he's certainly looking. There's something that's going to be citable for sure.
Was it with Karen Station? Calling water
Getting
any
political. We got a police officer.
I'm not being aggressive. So
Neither am I. I'm being emphatic.
The filming is not great.
We're not going to be emphatic anymore.
I didn't raise a hand. I don't have a weapon.
I know. I don't think you do, but I'm not going to let it escalate further than what it is. Okay?
They might have a weapon in the vehicle.
I deal with these guys a good bit. Can we just kind of start over?
I'm a real estate investor.
Go back?
I've dealt with these guys a lot too.
Okay.
And up until a few weeks ago, when we shot a perfect...
I'm getting there's something that's making me concerned. I'm not going to say this guy is on drugs or has a mental issue, but if I was responding to this, that would be in my brain. I'm not trying to say, I'm not trying to disparage or insult anyone, by any means. However, this is something that you have to pay attention to as an officer, because people who are on drugs or have some sort of mental issue tend to be a little less stable, which means they're less predictable, which means you have to be potentially a lot more cautious. It can be hard to de-escalate. And although I'm not an expert in determining if someone is, I would not testify in court that this man is I'm pulling into it right now, is having any sort of issue mentally or chemically. When alarm bells start going off in your head, you pay attention to it, because it could save your life. So there's something here, the speech pattern, the facial expressions, concern.
Illegal black man. Everything was super fine.
Just his posture, the way he's moving, it's just
that was a clean shoe.
weirding me out.
I've ever seen.
We don't need to talk about.
Not saying he's a bad person because of it. I'm just saying, from a law enforcement perspective, just something to pay attention to.
That.
Mentally impaired is a good term, Luke. I'm trying to be politically correct here.
The insane people have gone absolutely nuts.
Max is calling me out for saying is.
In this country.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Thanks for.
Oh, okay. Well, that was nothing. That's fine. It was interesting. I got to say some things. All right, that was the male Karens. Not that exciting. I don't know. Let's keep going. I got nothing but time. If you guys want, let's get into something a little more exciting. Oh, Karen attacks. Yes. Let's see if the attack is lawful and self-defense is appropriate. Let's do that. Heck yeah, my dudes and ladies. Mentally impaired does cover both drugs and illness. You are 100% correct on that. Well put. Moving on. You guys want to look at people attacking? And we're not doing like full-on assault, gore, whatever. But something I probably should have said. There's going to be some language here, I'm sure. So if you are of an age where maybe that would upset you, or just of a personality where that might upset you, just a heads up, just a fair warning. And nothing wrong if you're like, I don't really care for that. Totally cool. Utah here is great. That's a joke. That's a joke. That was a joke. Utah's lovely. And the people are lovely, I assume. I've never been, but I've seen pictures. Some of you understand the reference. Anyway, I feel like I'm digging a hole. Moving on. Let's see what's happening.
We have so many people here that's enjoying themselves.
Okay, they're street performers. Maybe they have a license to be street performers. This is going to probably fall under municipal code as to whether or not you can enter that space that they're performing in. If this has been approved beforehand to hold off that area of the square for them, but this is probably going to be under something municipal. I don't know.
Okay, this is what we're gonna do.
We're gonna do the last has part. Entered and she's getting involved, and she probably shouldn't be. What can they do to get her out of there? I honestly don't know, because municipal code is going to be different from city to city to city to city to city. So I've never dealt with street performers and the laws surrounding it. I honestly couldn't tell you.
Now what are you doing? Hey, sweetheart, there's kids here. Is she
doing something offensive?
Now what are you?
Oh, maybe she might be flipping people off. That could be disorderly conduct. Certainly there are states where that would be disorderly conduct. However, would that survive a constitutional challenge? That depends. I would not arrest her for that. Not for middle fingers in public. Actually, that depends on where she is and what the general social norm is. It gets weirdly complicated for this sort of thing. So I would try not to arrest her for it, but I would make an effort to get her out of that area and probably cite her safety, right? Something like that. If she continued it and it got to the point where she's riling up the crowd and the crowd is getting angry, then yes, I would cite her for disorderly conduct, because engaging in an activity that is likely to cause violence or promote violence or cause someone to engage in violence is disorderly conduct. So if I went up to someone and I was using disparaging racial terms, something about sexual preference, their mother, etc., and they punched me, sure, that could be assault, but I could also be cited for basically getting them angry enough to assault me. Interestingly, it gets weird. Constitutional stuff gets weird. So, yeah, this is a complicated one. We're gonna see what happens.
Hey, sweetheart, there's kids here. There's kids here. There's kids here.
Also, possible public intoxication. That one's a good one.
There's kids. Oh, you should have some respect, sweetheart. Please.
Okay, see how the crowd's getting angry? Now we start to get into the disorderly conduct area. Nice.
Thank you. Could you please leave? Could you please leave? Please.
Oh, she lifts her shirt. I mean, that could be a problem depending on where you are. But again, that's going to vary by state and municipality, possibly county, that sort of thing.
We're doing flips in here.
Okay, so they're doing flips. If they have permission to do that, if they have that area reserved for them and they're doing flips, yes, she could be removed. In removing officer could cite her safety, that sort of thing. She's endangering herself and others because if they're doing flips and they hit her, that could hurt them as well. So, boom.
For format, can you please move over? You were just standing right there. Why would you come right here in our way? Can you move over? Can you please?
Wait, if she's BLM making a statement as Sort Negative 37 claims, I feel like this is not the group to make a BLM statement about, like, so BLM, Black Lives Matter, of course. Correct me if I'm wrong, most of these performers appear to be members of the African American community. And if she's interrupting them to make a BLM statement, that seems very counterintuitive. I don't know if that's what she's doing, but there you go.
Can you move over? Can you please move over? Please? Please? Can you
get out of there, lady. Go on, get now.
Can somebody call the cops on her, please?
Yeah.
Can somebody call
the cops is appropriate.
Please? Is it?
You can keep your recycling.
All right. End of that one. So, was she wrong? I would say she's very close to meeting the thresholds for endangering others and disorderly conduct. Would it get her conviction? You know, that one's a little iffy, but certainly an officer could arrest her for it. I don't know that I would have, because I don't like to arrest people that I'm not convinced a conviction is probable regarding the situation, etc. Words are hard, but yeah, she is in the wrong there. Moving on to this, whatever it is.
Ma'am, but you,
but this is not
that's
yours,
not
though.
yours.
This is not yours.
What are you talking about?
Here, get this, Maurice, because she ain't finna snatch nothing out my hand.
I feel like I've seen this.
You may take your recycling bin, but the rest is mine. But it's not yours.
You just walked up on the property and decided that you was gonna take some stuff.
What?
No.
Do you have a receipt for it?
Actually,
Possession is 9/10 of the law.
I need to see that thing. Right along with the police, too.
I will give you the receipt as soon as I take.
What have you taken?
I'm getting, just from the speech, I'm getting little hints of public intoxication. I cannot confirm this, and if I was arriving on scene as an officer, I would definitely need more than that to really lock into it, but her speech sounds a little off. Give me a second, I'm going to listen to it a little more.
Ma'am, what have you taken?
Where do you live?
It does not matter where I live.
It does, because you come over here.
But why would you?
House.
Yeah, and
You choose this house.
yeah, those are cute.
Like, why? You don't know why? Did you have too many tonight?
She did.
Or did you have too much to drink?
Oh, I'm not the only one who feels that way. All right. Fantastic.
It's
Oh, is Frankly here? Did Frankly? Oh, Frankly is here. Oh, Frankly, you missed the first 5, which were all men. Oh, it was the craziest thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for Frankly. Frankly's the guy who's saying that me reviewing the situation and determining if the people are actually wrong, what laws are being broken, if any laws are being broken, thinks that's sexist, despite the fact that the first 5 people were men. So, don't know what to tell you. It's kind of like if I said, let's review, modern Hitler compilations, just people acting like Hitler. Like, would that be sexist? Because Hitler was a guy. Karen generally is a female. Is it sexist to review a compilation of modern day Hitlers? I feel like it's not. I'd love to hear evidence that would establish why that would not be the case. right? I'm going to leave it at that. You come up with the argument to establish why a Martin Hitler compilation would or would not be sexist. Because if a Karen compilation is sexist, obviously a Hitler words are hard. Compilation would be also sexist, despite the fact that male or female could be a modern day Hitler. I just keep saying I'm going to get like kicked off YouTube for it. Oh, while you guys are here in the middle of my stream, speaking of people getting kicked off YouTube, apparently there's some drama between some of the channels that have been reviewing Jeremy DeWitt, and I'm not involved in it. I know very little about it, and good luck to all of them. I do not watch their content for the most part, although Fraudy International has been putting out some phenomenal stuff, as they always have. So if I had to recommend a channel that was not mine, was not Real World Police, to review what is happening with Jeremy DeWitt and new stuff with him, Fraudy, is it Fraudy International? I'm pretty sure I have that right. Is just doing great. Just doing great. It's picking up where I just dropped off the face of the earth when it comes to that sort of stuff. And just full credit to them. Phenomenal stuff. Great videos. What is Frankly saying? I always love it when this happens. Frankly, the new CP? Not yet. CP took it pretty far. Frankly, it's just being ridiculous. Frankly says you really have issues, but I'd love to hear what those issues are, because Frankly not only can't establish what those are, but has been unable to establish why I am not real law enforcement, or was not real law enforcement. Frankly is correct that I no longer work in a law enforcement capacity like I did when I was active duty, because stuff I do with the National Guard, turns out National Guard and active duty, very different things as far as the work conducted. So I don't like to call myself law enforcement anymore, although I am still 31 Bravo, which is military police. That is still my primary MOS, etc. So for context, once again, we've already talked about Frankly. Frankly decided to insult me and got upset when I was like, no, you're wrong about the thing you're insulting me about, and now thinks that I am just a bad person because they insulted me, but that's fine. But I digress. I'll keep an eye out for those comments. Frankly, keep going. Frankly, you should keep going. Is DeWitt undercover? Very well could be. But DeWitt's in jail, so probably not. Tasty. It's not that tasty, but it is cold, which is important.
One or the other. You know your pants fell down and stuff, right?
Here's
Wetback sand nigger.
And that's it, I guess. All right. So I guess she was messing with recycling. I don't know. But laws broken. I don't know exactly what she was doing. So maybe nothing. Maybe she wasn't unlawfully interacting with trash can or recycling bin or whatever. Possible public intoxication, although that would require more of an investigation. And basically what those homeowners probably should have done is say, get off my property. Go away. Right? You can talk from a sidewalk. You can shout to each other. Within reason. You know, you can't create unreasonable noise. But if I were those homeowners to say, cool, we can have this conversation, but you're going to be on the sidewalk and you cannot come onto this property. Get off. Right? Do not come back. And if they did, cool. Trespass. You got it all on film. At that point, be breaking the law. The closest I can think of as far as a law goes is public intoxication. Maybe. Harassment may be applicable if they don't go away, if they keep coming back, if they stay on that sidewalk and keep yelling things. But I would say nothing arrestable at that point. Nothing citable anyway. You're being awfully quiet there, CP. I'm listening. I'm reading.
Your motherfucking cocksucking
Whoa,
bitch.
whoa, lady.
Enjoy it. Go back where you came from.
There you go.
Okay, this immediately could be harassment. Immediately. If she keeps coming back. So basically, if someone's doing this to you, say, you are making me uncomfortable, stop. Right? And that establishes that their actions are causing you discomfort. Now, that discomfort has to be reasonable. I think based on what she's saying, that discomfort is pretty easy to establish is reasonable. If she continues to come back, yeah, keep filming that, because that is probably going to be harassment of some sort. Moving on.
What's your name, Stinky
Ruin
Ho?
this fucking country.
There you go. That's the type of shit I love.
Oh, Frankly has replied. All right, we're replying to that. Frankly says, you're a sexist and you hate women. Maybe we should have a conversation. You make fun of someone who disagrees with you. We've already established why your claims I hate women are silly. You insulted me and I was sassy, and that upset you more. I don't know what to tell you, right? Let's have it. We're having a conversation right now. Let's do it. All right, I'll wait for you to reply because there is a delay. And we're going to keep going over this, but you let me know, okay? We've already established why I believe you're wrong. Let's move past that and sort of dig deeper into what exactly you're thinking. Because it is not making sense to me. Anyway.
Enjoy it, Facebook faggots!
Ooh! Ooh! All right, if this is someone you interact with repeatedly, if you can't get harassment, you can always do a civil no contact order. It might be called in your neck of the woods a something about harassment. It just went blank. Anyway, there are things you can file. Basically, they can't talk to you anymore, or they can't be within a certain distance, etc. Which is an excellent thing if, for example, the person that's doing this is in your neighborhood. The name is on the tip of my tongue. If you go to your local court, wherever this would be done, if you tell them a no contact order, they'll know what's no, not restraining order, not a stay away order. I might tell them the drone story later, Rennie. No, it's just anti-harassment. That doesn't sound right. It might be. Anyway, your court will know. Make sure you're going to the right court. Sometimes you can go to your local municipal court. Sometimes you have to go to a more sort of a higher up type situation. No, not restraining order. That's farther. No contact order, yes. But there's another term that's sometimes called, and it might just be an anti-harassment order, honestly. I don't know. But AR is very excited about this, about Frankly, sorry, I saw Frank Perry and I was like, that's him, but it's sorry, Frank Perry, I had you confused. Understandably, I feel. Any response? I thought you wanted a conversation, frankly. Where are you? Where did you go? I'm looking. David Macdoff, I would actually disagree with you on that. The training that is often cited for civilian police. So, okay, backing up. The claim was that made by David Macdoff is military police actually get more training than your average police officer. In certain areas, yes. However, the number cited for what hours police training or police are trained in, right, for like the 500 and whatever, 600, whatever is being thrown around these days. That's generally classroom training. That's not on-the-job training. That's not field training. That's a lot of training that is not being, addressed. And the actual training, when you take in the year of probation, the field training, and all the other stuff outside of a classroom, because a classroom will only teach you so much. Interacting with people is actually one of the most difficult parts. Keeping your cool, being able to handle a situation in a high-stress environment, going out and actually doing this. You can be in a classroom forever, and you're not going to learn everything. You learn a lot actually going out and doing either simulated training or real-world training where you are attached to a police officer who's fully certified. And when you get into the hours on that, it's significantly higher. It's like we're talking close to a bachelor's degree in criminal justice levels of training. So I appreciate the defense for military police. And in some cases, in some things, yes, they do get a significant amount of training. However, I would say no. Generally, when it comes to something like Seattle Police, we do not get as much training as Seattle Police before we put on the road. That is what I believe. We do get a lot of annual training, and every time we move, we get more training. And every time someone comes to the base to train us, we get more training, and the training is constant and consistent and always ongoing. But the initial training, I think, actually is a little bit less. Not that we're terrible at our jobs, but one of the biggest gripes I have is that we're not really taught much constitutional stuff. And constitutional stuff gets actually very complicated on base. well, it's not necessarily complicated. It's actually a lot easier because on base you have a lot fewer restrictions on what you can do because base security. So it's not as relevant, but it is super, super useful to understand how law works, the intent of law, how it should be enforced. And I think it actually is a very, very good idea to implement that into the training. I know a significant amount of police departments actually do. Just the military, because of the differences in how law works on a military installation, because of the security of the installation being a major factor, a lot of things that would not be constitutional off base are on base. So it's less important to learn, in my opinion, although I don't think that it should be ignored because it does do a lot to sort of help everything, all the puzzle pieces come together on how exactly this is supposed to work. But there's my rambling. Frankly, you say you're happy to converse. Let's converse. Leave some comments, man. Let's go. James, thank you so much. Says, can we revisit the OnlyFans situation? I bet you'd like that. Cease and desist. We're still back on that. Cease and desist, not what I'm looking for. That applies to like you're doing an action, and if you don't stop the action, we'll file a lawsuit. Whereas some sort of civil protection order, anti-harassment, no contact, restraining, whatever, is issued by a judge. It's issued by a judge, and it's not a civil issue at that point. It would be a legal issue because at that point you can be arrested if you violate it. But anyway, he says he wants to talk, but he's not leaving comments. I don't understand it. All right. Oh yeah, military training as well. Absolutely. Room clearing. I would say I got a lot of training in room clearing, both in a military combat environment and in a law enforcement environment. I say environment, a training environment. I never deployed. For those of you who want to know. But Chris Norton, welcome to the live stream. If I needed to imagine Jeremy DeWitt in another job, what would it be for me? Who'd be working in the Acme store selling stuff to Wile E. Coyote and no refunds. I think it'd be really fun to watch him as a cashier, just dealing with human beings, and I just think that would be hilarious because I don't think he'd be able to. Anti-harassment is not in every state. He's having to look up new ways to insult me. I think he just knows that he's not going to win this one. Because his argument is based off of emotion, not logic. Is my bra too small? I'm not wearing a bra. So no. But that's not relevant. I encourage you to actually try to stay on topic if you want me to take this seriously. You're just making yourself look foolish in front of 129 viewers right now, and then later when other people watch this after the fact. So. Dan, stop it. But. It's Chris. No, don't tell him to quit. I'm enjoying this. It's always fun when someone challenges me. Redeem, thank you so much. Late, but finally here. Hi. Me little bacon bits and the Baconator himself. I don't know if I can call myself that because I'm pretty sure it's trademarked. But hello. Frankly, you notice that I didn't think less of her because she is a female. I don't know if you noticed that, but it's almost like I don't hate her because of her gender. That's crazy. I know. Weird. Radine, you might have missed out. There's a guy in here saying I'm sexist because Karens. Because the topic. I don't know. Friday says you're a bit fat. Fat shaming isn't your thing. It's actually, he actually wrote it. You're a bit fat. Fat shaming isn't your thing. So, grammar, frankly, please, if you're going to insult me, get it right. I am within the Army standards. So I would say I'm not a bit fat. But thank you.
That's the type of shit I love.
Oh, is that a middle finger?
I'm sure you do, you piece of shit foreigner.
Oh, see the
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
I'm sure you do, you piece of shit
I thought you said
foreigner.
Sue.
Oh, see the town crackheads. Look at them.
No, guys, language. Okay, so this probably wouldn't be considered. I don't think he has an argument for harassment because he's still. Oh my God, squeaky chair. He is still engaging her because that's a conversation. That's not, harassment. Which is why I tell you guys, if you believe you're being harassed, you gotta tell them, stop. Don't do this. It makes me feel uncomfortable. And then cease communication. Do not say another word. Don't put yourself in a position where you could be considered the instigator of a new conversation. Because if you do, if you're like, well, I felt uncomfortable, and you went back, well, obviously you didn't feel uncomfortable enough not to continue it, so that's not going to hold up. A conversation's not going to be considered harassment, probably. So don't say anything. If someone's texting you, if someone's calling you, do not respond. It's actually, the police told Rania this. And they did a very good job explaining it. When she was saying Jennifer was harassing her. This is in context of Jeremy DeWitt, for those of you who don't know. They did a great job being like, look, if you respond, that's a conversation. That's not harassment. If you don't, that's something completely different. So, yeah, you know. I'm cuddly, not fat. Yeah. Yeah, you cuddle. Yeah. Anyway.
Good old Cedartown crackheads.
Frankly, where's your conversation at? I thought we were going to have a conversation.
I'm not a goddamn crackhead, motherfucker. I have my own goddamn business.
Okay.
I have my own fucking crackhead.
Oh, that's assault. That's assault. All right. So remember how earlier I talked about how causing someone to hit you could be disorderly conduct? They were both doing it. I mean, this doesn't feel like that is the situation. They're both insulting each other. I think they'd both be if one of them is going to get hit with disorderly conduct, both of them are going to get hit with disorderly conduct. Here in Seattle, we have a mutual combat type situation. This would probably sort of be considered that under case law, not necessarily statutory law. But what she just did when she hit him, that is assault. That is absolutely assault. And I don't think that she can use the defense that his words instigated it, because her words were just as bad. So, you know. Frankly, assume my gender. That's a little sexist, isn't it? Raydeen, thank you so much. Karen's a cultural literacy term, not sexist at all. A woman thinks so. I feel like I can trust your judgment on this to certainly a degree higher than perhaps mine. But yeah, Karen is not limited to a specific gender. If Frankly had been paying attention, he would have seen that. Assuming Frankly is a he. I'm assuming a gender now. Is that sexist? Very well could be. Although I feel like it's based on... well, I could say it's based on the name Frank, but Frankly is a word. So, yeah, I'm going to call my... You know what? I assumed a gender. I am sorry. See, Carl Go, thank you so much. I'm not fat, I'm fluffy. Did I already say that one? I might have. I don't know. I'm distracted looking for Frankly's conversation. I was so excited to have this conversation, and now it's not happening. I expected more from you, Frankly. You had so much time to figure it out, but you didn't figure it out real quick.
I have my own goddamn business.
There we go.
How about fucking crackhead?
That's assault. That's assault times 2, and it's on film.
What's your name?
Run some more fucking stop signs, you piece of shit.
All right.
Uh-oh. All right, so apparently he ran some stop signs. That would be a crime. If it's not documented, there's not much police can do. That does not allow you to assault someone. Spinach Inquisition, phenomenal. Phenomenal. Love it. Just, yes. So good. All right, I'm sorry. That's just good. Such a good name. Thank you so much. It says, haha. Bet you didn't expect me to show up. I didn't, but I'm so happy you did. Just because that name is incredible. Are there legitimately fighting words? James, yes, there are. Now, is there like a list of what they are? No. It's more of a case-by-case situation. That could be considered... Well, actually, no. Fight me would be fighting words, right? What 2 words are guaranteed to start a fight? Want to fight? You know, saying... I don't know. Yeah, there are words that would be considered fighting words. But most of the time, it's going to be what words are likely to instigate a fight. That's usually what it falls under. But legally, yes, that actually is a thing. Supreme Court has a ruling on that sort of thing. What isn't? There are a couple rulings, or at least 2 that are usually referenced, about what is not protected under the First Amendment in regards to freedom of speech. So that's a great question. Moving on.
Motherfucker, I'm warning you.
That's another assault. Was that 3 or 4?
Go ahead.
Wait, hold on.
Motherfucker, I'm warning you.
Warning him about what? Yeah, it's criminal charges right there.
So go ahead. I wish you would.
What's that tag?
Uh-oh.
It's the tag number.
You see some vandalism? No? Okay. She's getting the tag. That's perfectly fine. She can do that. That's totally, you know, it's in public view. It's your license plate is not a private thing. Now, who owns that license plate is in some states, but not all of them. I haven't heard a good debate in so long. Oh, haven't had a good debate in so long. You're right. I haven't. People keep backing out. I almost get them, and they keep backing out. Just, oh, I love me a good debate. Max Powers. Yo, mama sucks jelly babies.
Great memory.
Now, Max says he might be reaching, or he may be reaching towards her. We cannot see. I can't find anything in his actions that would constitute an illegal reach to her. That he could put his hand out and be like, "Hey, stop!" If she smacks that hand away, she's still assaulting him. Now, if he puts his hand on her and pushes her back, that could be considered assault. But if she walks into his hand, of course, there are situations where this does not apply. You know, it gets weird, but she definitely appears to be in the wrong here.
Dumb bitch.
Phoenix Jones. Someone remind me. It's raspberry lemonade. It's tasty. Probably terrible for me. Do you think Frankly's still here? I was so excited, but I guess not. He'll show up in the comment section later, I'm sure, once he stops crying after my vicious, vicious comebacks. Which were just, I'm not wearing a bra. Oh, I'm so mean and aggressive and terrifying. Stroke assault. Evie. Glenn Serio wishes he was the Mutual Combat King. I've never seen him actually engage in it.
Stop.
But, I mean, good thing, too. He would have killed someone with his ground and pound technique. Because the army doesn't train for that sort of thing. They don't teach you how to shrimp out of a full mount. No, it's crazy. That's the word I'm looking for. What? Hi, Will.
Walmart.
I'm glad you texted that to me so that I can
which I didn't, but
search that later. Why is Acre? I like this mug. So I love my dog. All right, so that's the end of that one. Woman, bunch of assaults. The man may have run a stop sign, but without evidence, it's going to be difficult to charge him with that. So, I mean, if she's like, yeah, he ran a bunch of stop signs, I'd be like, cool, give me his plate number. And then if there was like a security camera around, you know what? Cool, I might check that out. And if I could match that plate number to whatever the security camera had, fantastic. Now I might issue a citation in the mail. But other than that, like, she definitely committed a lot more crimes, it would appear, than him. But, you know, is that sexist? I don't know. Maybe Frankly will tell me.
So either apologize and give me your name.
Apologize for what?
You're very rude. It was 3 seconds, sir.
It was the light was
Okay, so I'm guessing he honked his horn, and she got mad.
red. The light was red. It turned green. You still sat there reading a piece of paper.
So what's happening? We got obstruction, potentially obstruction of an intersection or roadway. If she didn't move within 3 seconds, she is impeding traffic. Actually, I think would be more applicable. And now I don't know if they're parked on the side of the road or not. But if they're not parked on the side of the road, that's still happening. So that could be a potential other issue. We don't know at this point because it's not on film.
Then it turned red again.
TC, that's right. I'm emphatic.
You represent.
You calling me fat?
You know what that does for employees?
But look, green's let go. You gotta move out of the way.
Okay, so she's still. Okay, yeah. Oh, there we. Oh, I'll just go here. That's fine. I'll be all the way back here. Where's the beard? I had to shave it because I was doing an army thing. I know. So if she's still blocking the road, that would be. What did I just say? It's been a long day, folks. Not obstruction of intersection, as I started with, but they're not in the intersection. It would be the whole traffic thing where you're slowing up the traffic. Regardless, it seems to still be happening, which would make it even more applicable etc. What kind of dog do I have? I have a half purebred German Shepherd, and then the other half is like 48% purebred. I cannot think today. I don't know what's going on. Help me out, Rennie. I might be having a stroke. Who knows? This is the decline of my mental state. She's like 2% Staffy, and then the Pitbull. That's the other one, about 48% Pitbull. So we think maybe we got her as a rescue. We think that maybe a German Shepherd breeder somehow got their German Shepherd mixed in with a pit bull by accident, and then they weren't willing to keep the dog, and then they abandoned the dog on the side of the road or in a street or somewhere, which was picked up by the Humane Society or whichever place we got it from, and then we picked her up from there. And yeah, she is a princess and very spoiled. So not purebred. The German Shepherd half is pure German Shepherd. We did a DNA test and everything, but the Pitbull side is almost purebred Pitbull. Not that I care. A dog is a dog. I love dogs, right? But no, she's very protective. Yeah, a little too much. But she's a very sweet, very smart girl. 50-50 dog. I mean, where's my juice? What's my juice doing? Did I watch Poo Poo Medic? You mean Popo Medic? I've seen a couple of Popo Medic stuff. Is good stuff. Certainly doing better than me. A lot of fun. Impeding traffic. That's it. That's what I'm looking for. Yes. Blue Nose Mountain Husky and German Shepherd. Oh, that sounds adorable. But anyway.
Look, listen to him.
There we go.
He told me I left the door
And
open. He's worried about the door. He's a
She even left the door open. Oh my God, lady. Come on.
Okay, then why are you leaving the door open?
Stop it.
stand there.
I don't know why you don't move.
Call the police or give
Go
me
ahead, get your phone and call the police.
Okay, yeah, that's not how that works. You don't get to block a road and say, no, I'm going to stay here if you don't give me your number, or you can call the police, because you're going to lose that fight. Honking a horn is not it's not something the police can arrest you for. In some places, it would be a noise pollution, but those places would be like Germany, not the United States, almost certainly not the United States. Especially if there's a valid reason for doing it, which there appears to have been. Additionally, she could be hit with distracted driving, even while stopped for reading a piece of paper, potentially depending on the state, what the distracted driving laws are. Shake the bottle before I pour a glass. You're actually right. I didn't shake the bottle. You're smarter than me. But excessive honking, sure. A little honk to be like, hey, light's green. Right? So she is absolutely wrong. Potential distracted driving, definitely impeding traffic. Yeah, she can't hold him there. If she doesn't let him actually leave, that's also a false detention or some equivalent wording of that. Definitely not good.
Call your police. No, then you'll get away. Call the police or give me your number.
Then I'll get away.
Oh, if it's a bus. You get all sorts of citations for buses. That's going to be municipal code usually. Now, as far as it being a unlawful detention of all the passengers, I would disagree, because they can get out and walk away. Whereas the driver of the bus could also potentially do that. So legally, would unlawful detention apply? Probably not, but I'm not saying the situation could not become that, or it hasn't already become that. It's just unlikely. I like to throw that one around because it sounds scary, but it doesn't apply super duper often. Now, if I had someone in the room and I'm blocking the doorway and I'm like, no, you're not leaving this room because we're going to have a conversation, and we see this in domestic violence cases a lot, where it's, no, you're staying in this room, and even if it's not violence, even if it's just a domestic disturbance where they're just yelling at each other and saying, you're not leaving this house until we have a talk, that's potentially a felony. I've arrested soldiers because they did that. They're like, hey, bud, you can't do that. Or if they're like calling 911, they smack the phone out of the hand, like, no, we're going to talk. That's interfering with a 911 call. That absolutely happens. Even if it isn't assault, even if you just take the phone saying, I'm not letting you call anyone until we talk, that's still If the person whose phone it is says, I would have used that phone to call 911, that's super illegal. So you deal with all this stuff in addition to potential domestic violence. There are all these other sort of satellite crimes, is what I like to call them, that may apply, that usually revolve around the situation. So I love to throw out unlawful detention. Is it always applicable? No. But there you go. We're learning things. It's not the most exciting, my breakdown of it, but we're learning things.
Okay. Give me your number or call the police or say you're sorry.
You know the number. It says it right on the side of the truck. Simple.
Call your number or I'll call the police.
Oh, directing traffic, impersonating a police officer. That's a joke, by the way. It takes more than that. You also have to be dressed like a police officer, like DeWitt was.
Call the police. I'm not doing nothing. I'm waiting for you to move out of the way.
Apologize or give me your name.
Okay, I'm sorry for beeping the horn.
Okay. For being aggressive. Because we have enough problems with this.
Ma'am, you are the problem right now. You're the problem. You. It is you. You are the problem. The problem that is you. It is you. You. Now, that driver, good for him for saying sorry. That's good de-escalation, although there's no reason, like, he's not in the wrong here. But nice of him to do that. So, the FedEx truck is smart. He'll roll over and play dead before he tries to climb aboard.
You're sitting at a green light.
Hey, Rennie, why are you talking about me like that? I know I'm smart. You don't have to call me a pig. That's a joke. We're pets. Anyway.
I was busy.
And you pull over to the side.
Looking at a paper? You have no proof of that.
I can see through your window. You're reading a piece of paper.
He doesn't need proof, lady.
I was busy and I got scared and said maybe the medicine's making...
She's making it so much worse. In that case, she shouldn't be operating a vehicle. Yeah, where did Frankly go? All right, so she says, you had no proof I was reading a piece of paper. She didn't deny it, which is something that I would potentially, pick up on and do something with. She does admit to reading something because she was feeling dizzy and got scared and said, maybe the medicine is making me dizzy. Yeah, if that's happening, which is only coming out now, which is weird. That should have been like the first thing she said, which makes me think that it's not true. That's absurd. Yeah. She shouldn't be driving. That could be reckless endangerment. Engaging in an activity. Depends on if... okay, hold on. If she was dizzy and kept driving, yes, that could be reckless endangerment of some sort or some variation of it. If she had a medical condition that caused her to be dizzy, or she was on medication that said, don't operate heavy machinery while using, or medication that she knew might cause her to become dizzy or drowsy or whatever, that could be reckless endangerment because she engaged in action that had the potential to cause some pretty serious harm. Since, operating while impaired is illegal, which is another thing that might come up. So she's just admitting to things that are not helping her at all. Driving while impaired, yes. Maurentians, I don't know if you beat me to it, but I was working my way to it. We were getting there.
Making me dizzy.
Then you pull over.
You're kidding me.
She's still going. She shouldn't be.
10 minutes ago. Keep being late with your packages. That's not going to help your employee record. Call the police.
He should have called the police by this point, right? Once it's clear that this is not going away, call the police. I would have called the police within like 20 seconds. Well, maybe not. The moment she said call the police, when she indicated that she wasn't going to go away, police. Calling the police. Asher, thank you so much. Says, take it for someone with a TBI. You don't read if you're dizzy. Yeah, it's the fact that she's like, I was dizzy while driving because I took medication really concerns me.
I'm not calling the police. You call them.
Give me your ID number.
I'm not giving you my ID number. I don't have to give you my ID number.
Fair.
Go right ahead.
But she can't hold him there while she does it.
You're blocking traffic.
Is she holding him hostage, Kaylee? I love the idea of that, but if he can still walk away, I would say no. Now, she is absolutely exposing herself to a potential civil suit by basically stopping him from being able to do his job unlawfully. But if he tried to walk out of that truck and she didn't stop him, he's not being held hostage. Civilly, maybe you can make an argument that it amounted to something similar, that he was being held hostage by his employment, right, being potentially threatened if he had walked away. But does he have an avenue of escape? Is there another door he can exit out of? there are a lot of questions, right? If this is the only door and she's blocking it and he doesn't feel safe exiting, an argument could be made. Would it be successful? Questions. But certainly it could be made. So it's a thing. It actually does get fairly complicated because it's actually such a big charge. You have to have a pretty strong case, or else they'll offer a plea deal for something quite a bit less, or maybe even drop it, or it just doesn't work. So, is Blue? Am I frozen? Sort. Thank you for 37. Thanks so much. It says, if he's FedEx, isn't that in the realm of interfering with the mail service? Felony time. FedEx is a private mail delivery company. If it was USPS, there actually might be a law that would apply. But FedEx, I don't believe, would, since it is private. Unless I'm wrong. Unless FedEx isn't. I'm pretty sure it is. But, yeah, they're still on the road. It's crazy. She should have called the police. Or he should have called the police. Excuse me.
You understand? At some point, you got to stand up for yourself.
Okay.
And you were wrong. If I was an older person or I really was busy,
wait, so she wasn't dizzy?
A piece of paper.
You keep insisting on that when you can't just be a forgiving person.
He said sorry. Lady, get out of the road. Oh, my God.
And
People,
believe
man.
me when I tell you, I was not reading for the sake of pleasure.
Oh, so now she has admitted to reading. So now she was reading. So distracted driving, driving while dizzy, which would be driving while impaired, potential reckless endangerment, interfering with traffic or obstructing traffic. She's very wrong, and she could be arrested for that, actually. Potentially. Probably not. That would probably just be citations, but she probably wouldn't be allowed to drive off. Reckless endangerment can be an arrestable offense, although that is often up to the discretion of the officers. I don't think she'd be arrested for that. I think that would be a poor choice, maybe not an illegal choice. Maybe I just spoke too soon. But what? Reading your comment mentions. Remains a stalker. Hawaii prosecutors trying to hem up some good officers for shooting at someone trying to use their vehicle as a weapon. Friend has cancer. What? No bueno. Oh, just that's the stuff you're dealing with. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, and I hope things improve. That's not her. It's not her voice. Those aren't the scars on her arms. Oh, what's this one? All right.
On video that you're
Oh, this is the one with the hammer. I've seen this one.
Thank you.
All right, so she has 2 hammers. That's terrifying. I mean, this is already getting to the realm of assault. She has just struck that vehicle with a hammer, which is here that would be malicious mischief of some sort. And then, of course, civilly, she would be completely responsible for that. The way she's approaching with the hammers is very concerning. And in some states, that would be assault not consummated by battery, depending on how she used them. If she lifted over her head while walking towards the person, I would consider that assault. As it is right now, not necessarily, but there would be some issues legally for sure. Oh, Dan Kerr, distraction. I'm so easily distracted. Tangents. How do I feel about James Freeman? He's a moron. He's a First Amendment auditor. If he's not a sovereign citizen by now, I'd be surprised. When I was looking at his stuff, he wasn't quite there. He was very, very close. He is an absolute idiot. He has no idea what he's talking about. If you ever hear him say anything, double check it. Double check it. Because it's probably wrong. He's dumb. Anyway.
Get the fuck out of this neighborhood.
Okay, that's not how that works. Whoa, language, lady.
Yep. Cool, lady.
I mean, that feels like disorderly conduct right there while she's saying that while holding a hammer, or 2 hammers. Depending on where it is, it might apply. Disorderly conduct is one that actually does have some pretty big differences between states sometimes. So I'm not going to say it's definitely that, but I love disorderly conduct. It's a very good law to apply to all sorts of things. Is that a terroristic threat charge? I would disagree. I don't think it meets that level.
Call, please. I'm calling. Don't worry.
Good call. That's exactly what you should be doing. You should not be following her necessarily. I mean, it's not bad. Following her to document what building she lives in is actually a pretty good call in the context of gathering evidence. However, in the context of safety, I caution against it. Right? She's wielding 2 hammers. She's already struck a vehicle multiple times.
Hi, I'm at 10408 Glade
Now
Avenue.
she's hitting other things. If that's the neighbor's stuff, right? If that's not her stuff that she's hitting, that's probably also going to be malicious mischief. That's restraining order, anti-harassment order time right there, for sure.
Because my neighbor has 2 fucking hammers in her goddamn hand.
Harassment, and now you could actually articulate that this is a hate crime because it may be racially motivated based on that statement. If you're committing crimes, don't make incriminating statements. Don't commit crimes, but don't be like, I'm doing this because you're Mexican, because now you get bigger charges. Congratulations, or bigger sentencing at the very least.
And she's assaulting the car.
She's destroying property. Let them know that. And I have her on video.
You got a problem, bitch?
What is happening?
Problem, motherfucker? You
What?
put your motherfucking shit on me again, bitch.
Is that a police officer wrestling with her?
Tell me to go the fuck back somewhere, bitch. Tell me.
All right, someone else involved. If you're dealing with someone, don't be screaming at them like that because it's not going to help you. It's only going to hurt you in court potentially.
Tell me, bitch.
Just control.
Tell me. Now turn that motherfucking hose off, bitch, before I shove up your fucking ass. You understand me, bitch?
What is? I don't.
A motherfucker to be played with. Do you understand me?
I mean, if you're already fighting, whatever, maybe don't do that. There are certain phrases you probably want to say, like stop, get off me, stop doing what you're doing, get off me, don't do that, go away. Like, those are the things you should be yelling, like stop, right? Because at that point, it's easier to articulate self-defense. I don't know what the start of this was. I don't know how this started. I don't know who that other guy is. Oh, wife or / girlfriend got involved. Oh. I don't know who approached who. If I assume you mean the wife / girlfriend of the person who's filming. Rennie sent me a text giving me some context. If the wife / girlfriend went over and started fighting with this woman, that could also be assault, unless she was trying to stop the commission of a crime, at which point it basically becomes a citizen's arrest, which is potentially applicable here. I don't know what state it is, so I can't say for certain, but I mean, she was committing what appeared to be a misdemeanor breach of the peace by hitting things with hammers and shouting things and striking things. So yes, I think a citizen's arrest would be appropriate. I just don't know the full context and how it started. Hold on, I'm getting some messages for context. All right, well, stop texting me so I can... Stop! All right. It's her wife / girlfriend. Lady screaming at the other lady. They are together. Oh, okay. So this person, I'm being told, these two people, so you got the hammer lady, and you've got the hammer lady's wife / girlfriend. That sounds familiar. I feel like that is... So the woman in black is, there's a huge issue with her making threats. Got it. Arash, thank you. Hey, what's up, man? Good to have you here. Mentally, I mean, yeah, I feel like we can establish that she's mentally ill. So obviously there are some problems here.
Your car, bitch, and you think that shit is cute, bitch, but it ain't. Becky, motherfucking racist, bitch.
Becky.
You racist motherfucker. I'm sick of you bitches. I'm sick of you bitches. You understand me, bitch? Do you understand me, bitch?
Okay, I am concerned that may have crossed the line from self-defense to assault against the woman with the hammers, although it really depends on how that ended and how it started. If your goal was to get her on the ground, to hold her there so that police could detain her, arrest her, great. And I believe she was arrested, if I remember correctly. But yeah, self-defense can easily turn into assault charges against you. So, question. All right, let's do one more. And then we'll end this.
Ma'am, you need to get off my property. Leave.
Trespassing. All right, so trespass notice has been issued. Fantastic. If she doesn't start moving away, she's wrong.
Right now.
Why are you recording me?
Because you're on my property.
And that's perfectly fine. He can record on his property. Not a problem.
You need to leave.
I'm gonna record you too.
Oh, big deal. You need to...
Okay, she can record while she's leaving his property. Context might change this, but from all I've seen so far, She is wrong. She is actually committing a crime.
Leave. Leave.
I'm gonna record you.
Get off my property, please.
Your plants are
Ma'am?
overgrown.
This feels scripted, though. It might not be. I don't know. There are some compilations of these things that felt very scripted, and this sort of feels that way.
I don't care. Get off my property.
I'm going to I'm sending pictures to the HOA.
Get off.
It feels like bad acting. God, it feels like bad acting. I think. Woman in black one dare press charges, apparently. Ugh, gross. This one feels fake. We're gonna.
Big deal. You need to leave. Leave.
I'm gonna
watch
record
the
you.
acting.
Get off
Thank you,
my
Kim.
property, please.
Thank you so much.
Your plants are
Ma'am?
overgrown.
I don't care. Get off my property.
I'm going to I'm sending pictures to the
That I'm gonna do this. This is fake. We've seen all the other incidences. This doesn't feel like any of them. This feels scripted. Not even well scripted. This feels like we have a general idea, try some stuff, we'll react to it, and we'll get famous on YouTube.
The HOA,
off my
all of your
property.
rubbish on the side of the road.
If you want to take
Don't
pictures,
put your hands on me.
I didn't
Don't
touch
touch
you.
me.
If you want to take
This is
pictures,
fake.
you have to
Don't
be
touch
on the
me.
side of the road.
Hold on.
Don't put
Pictures,
your hands on me.
I didn't
Don't
touch
touch
you.
me.
If you want to take pictures, you have
Don't
to be
touch
on the
me.
side of the road.
That sounded like assault
Get
if this
off
was
and you
real.
need to leave.
Don't push me to the side of the road.
I'm not touching you. My hand's
I
right
have
here.
my rights to be on
The
your
fact that it's edited makes it feel scripted, because why would you edit something out unless, like, you said something that you didn't want to say, right? And you didn't want the internet. I don't know, like, if I was filming this and I was like, oh yeah, you're at my house at this address, I'd edit it out. But that felt like maybe there was a mistake and they're like, oh no, blah, you know?
No,
Max, we don't often use that word, but it is sometimes used.
You need to
don't.
take pictures?
No, you
because
can
I
be
know
on
the
The word for context being rubbish.
HOA.
Road?
I know the
You
HOA.
can be on the road, but
I
not
know
on
the
my
HOA.
property. No,
I
you
basically
need to leave.
own your house.
Ma'am,
because
leave.
I'm friends with the HOA.
Ma'am, leave. Thank you.
Give me my sunglasses. Give me my sunglasses.
No.
Give me my
Go get them.
Okay, yeah, it's TikTok, which makes me think, well, no, there are plenty of TikToks that feel real. If it was real, trespassing, assault. Let's do one more. One more, because I don't think that one is real.
Okay.
I want to watch a kid crying. No. Oh. This one. All right, fast food. Fast food ones. This is the last one. Last one. All right, food is given. She's screaming. All right. She's being told to leave. That's a notice of trespass. If she didn't get food she paid for, that's a civil issue. It's not a legal issue. So, notice of trespass has been issued. If she doesn't leave right now, is trespassing.
What's your name? Tell me your fucking name. What is his name?
She is trespassing.
What's his name? What is his name? 'Cause
Yep.
he is getting reported. What's your fucking
Disorderly conduct, for sure. 100% right there.
name?
But, moving on. Oh, hold on.
Because he is getting reported. What's your fucking name? You're a piece
That's
of shit.
assault?
Getting reported. What's your fucking name?
No, okay. So she hits the. I don't think she threw anything. I wasn't sure. It's hard to tell. I think that's just malicious mischief.
Because he is getting reported.
If there's damaged property,
What's your fucking name?
it's blurry though.
You're a piece of shit, bitch!
Okay. Wow. Disorderly conduct for sure. Trespassing for sure. Potentially malicious mischief. Okay, that's assault. They both appeared to have thrown something at each other. Both assault on both of them. So the person in the car, there it is. The person in the car has committed assault when they went pew through something in. It's backwards for me. The person, in the drive-through window committed assault when they pew through something in there. So they both have assault, but only the driver at the moment has disorderly conduct, trespassing, and malicious mischief.
You fucking piece of shit!
Oh my god. Oh, lady, stop it. Damn. Wow. Oh, that's the end. Fantastic. Well, what a fantastic. I told you one more. Anyway, all right, what are your questions before I get out of here? And did you enjoy this? I know I wasn't like super energetic today. It's just been a very long day. But I feel like we learned something. I don't know if I'm going to do these often. It just felt like it would be fun. We have one more. I mean, the video ended. Look, bloop. The video's over. We'll do another stream. We're almost at 2 hours, though. That's usually my end point. The Van Dip, yeah. I did. Anyway, all right, so we can do more. Something about... I don't know anything about Phoenix Jones yet. I have to look into that. But this was nice. It was a nice little... purely reactive to something that wasn't Jeremy DeWitt. I got to talk to you guys. I enjoyed this thoroughly. See Carl Go, thank you so much. Says, that's how I act when my hash browns are soggy. Soggy hash browns are no fun. It's the crispiness that was that really does it. But yeah, a skit with Kermit playing a Karen. I mean, I could. The mug survive. Yeah, I'm not breaking this mug. I like this mug. I'll break other mugs, but not this one. Layus on DeWitt. He's still in jail. The prosecution has asked to try him as a habitual offender. He has had the scars on his arms photographed for presumably comparison with video footage of him driving, because he likes to claim it's not him. But obviously, if you can see the scars, and that's just more evidence to establish that it actually is him. In addition to him calling himself Motor One, the sound of his voice, the reflection of himself in reflective surfaces, etc. The scars on the arms, it's going to be real hard to establish that another one of his employees, aka contractors, or contractors, aka employees, whichever one, whatever. It's going to be real hard to establish that other people that worked for or with him had those same scars. So they are looking to do another plea deal for, I think, his impersonating a police officer stuff, which is probably going to be certainly a few years, especially if they get him as a habitual offender, which either is going to get him a lot of time behind bars, or it's just going to be really good leverage for a plea deal. Because this has the potential to be a very long case. It already has been a very long case. So, I'm sure prosecution wants it to be over. Makes sense. Yeah, people obviously fake his cards to set him up. I got this shirt, I want to say the PX actually on base. I thought it was fun. When I was first starting this channel, I was looking for shirts that were blue, and I was like, oh, I gotta get this one. This one's old. I mean, old being pre-channel old, but like bought for the channel. Whole thing. Lace on Friday has him blaming Jennifer for hacking his house cams to explain to his wife why she has pigs in her home. Yeah, or the guy was cheating on his wife, which we know he was, and let her inside. She even says, I did see some of maybe that video, I'm not really sure. But I saw one where he's like, yeah, like my husband says that he swears up and down that she was never in the home. Like, he also said he wasn't cheating on you, but if you want to believe him. And I feel for her, she is a victim. I don't want to go after her. I know some other channels don't feel the same way. I disagree with them strongly. But it's a whole thing. Was he charged with 32 counts? I feel like he was charged with about 32. It was a lot. There were a lot of a whole thing. Voice printing is used in Florida. That is actually exciting. I've never done that. What are my views on Chris Jansen? Do you mean Chris Hansen? The Take a Seat guy? I mean, he has an interesting show. He does a good job establishing evidence of stuff. Legally, his stuff... Oh, 27 counts. He's a thing. I think maybe as a person, there are certain things that indicate that maybe he isn't really as much in the up and up as he wants to believe. I don't know. There are some ways he's treated other people's stories. He's taken other people's stories and run with it that a little weird, not great. I'm not saying that's his fault. Might have been his producers. I don't know. I'm assuming he isn't the producer of his own show. But his show is good. Like, To Catch a Predator is good. Why do I hate James Freeman? Because he's an absolute moron. He's one of the few people that are actually a sovereign citizen and a First Amendment auditor. I say sovereign citizen. What I've seen isn't quite there, but it's very, very close. He's just really dumb. He promotes stupidity. He's just a terrible human being, the way he conducts himself. I would articulate. That's personal opinion. He gets law wrong. He tries to get other people to get law wrong. It's just, I do not like him. I think he's he has some issues that need to be corrected. I'm not saying physically corrected. I'm not saying like someone should go beat him up. No. But he needs to interact with people who actually know what they're talking about, who can have a meaningful conversation with him that he'll respond well to. I do not like him. When is Bruce Campbell going to play me? I don't know, but I like that choice. Redeemed, thank you so much. Question: we don't have to tell people our names to non-LE, no matter how hard they screech, correct? Generally, no. Now, if you're working for a company, there may be some sort of requirement that, you know, failure to comply with might get you fired, but legally, generally, no. But, yeah, I would say no, for the most part, in almost every situation. Christy Wilson asks, do I believe Jennifer was in the car in DeWitt's latest video, last video, the reflection in his sunglasses? I believe there is someone I don't know. I can't. I'd love to believe it is, but from what I've seen, I cannot conclusively determine that it is her. So I'm going to decline to believe it is, although I certainly think that there is a possibility. However, I don't have an opinion either way because there is not enough evidence for me to really formulate an opinion. When it comes to it, I like my opinions to be very much based on evidence and fact. Other things, maybe not so much. Not everything requires a whole bunch of facts for me to have opinions on it. Although I do try to make that a habit. But when it comes to it, because of the way I present information, because I'm presenting that information to include opinions on this channel, I like to make sure they are as factual as possible. And I sort of try to give them the treatment of, if I were investigating this as a crime, if I were documenting this, if I were presenting this to a JAG attorney for prosecution, would I feel comfortable saying that I believe beyond a reasonable doubt? Do I believe beyond a reasonable doubt it was Jennifer in that car? No. Do I believe there is a possibility worth investigating? Yes. But unfortunately, I really couldn't say. What about Chris Chan? I feel like I've heard of him, but it's not quite there in my brain. Do I support Irish unity? I have no idea. Are we talking about Northern Ireland and how... Because part of it is still European Union, right? That I have not looked into enough to have a solid opinion on. I believe that if a group of people believe strongly enough that they want to be separate from another group of people, and they appropriately implement the correct changes to make a hard and legal division between them, and it is not something that directly affects me, I hesitate to have a strong opinion on it, especially when I do not know much about it and I'm not living in that situation. Arash, thank you so much. Have a drink on me, he says. Sorry I missed out on most of the live stream. Hey, I'm glad you could show up. I'm glad you caught the end of it. Always good to have you here. You missed out on Frankly, though, trying to get me going, but he decided to chicken out. So, oh well. Just watched a video from Popo Medic's channel and someone sent him a Metro State motorcycle windshield. Oh, man. I don't know what he'll do with it, but that's hilarious. Whoever was there, he was really trying to show off and trying to act tough. Yeah, frankly. Okay, yeah, Republic is Europe and Northern is UK still. I remember that being an issue. But that's a whole thing. Food items that touch on the same plate. My thoughts, I am all for it, but if that's the thing that you don't like, it's your food, it's the way you eat it, I'm not going to stop you. But I usually don't care, depending on what the food is. I generally mix weird things together, so I'm not one to say it shouldn't happen. But if that's how you want to eat your food, cool. PT was originally calling about the video I made here, then spoofed my number to another person on YouTube trying to get us to fight, but it did not work. Oh, interesting. Not a great thing if that's true. James K says, Tom Cruise Jack Reacher. Reacher was an MP, Blue is an MP, therefore Tom Cruise should play Blue. Yeah, but Scientology. Also, he's much shorter than me. He claims he's suspended on YouTube, but he's made claims like that before that have been a little iffy. So, maybe that's true, maybe it's not. I don't know. Max Power says, Blue Bacon, I have a pet pig called Bacon. He is awesome. Please give me a shout out by saying, hi, Bacon. And we'll wake him up for his supper. He's leaving. Hi, Bacon. You need some food? You're going to get some, yeah. Go get you oink oink and whatnot. There's my pig talk for you. Frankly, is Jennifer in hiding? That would be amusing. There is a chance. I don't have evidence to establish it, but I'm not saying that it's impossible. Treezo's a great name. Yes. That's good. Anyway, all right. I feel like that's a good ending. We went a good solid 10 minutes over the 2-hour mark that I usually try to stop at. And Rennie's probably like, stop. Oh, good call. Alexa, tell me a joke. Hey, Google, tell me I'm pretty. Did it work for anybody? I try to be, Gamma Man, I try to be objective. It doesn't always work. I am certainly biased. I'm certainly affected by emotions in regards to certain things. And sometimes I play up the emotions. Sometimes, you know, I try to keep them in check, depending on the situation and how I'm presenting information and the entertainment value, etc. But I try to be reasonable. I try to give them the benefit of the doubt, legally, anyway. Haha, got it. Aaron, good call. You know what? You're right. Hey, Google, sing Diggy Diggy Hole. That's a good one. So, anyway, thank you, Police Tube. And Rennie, you are correct. If you guys want to hit the like button on the way out, feel free to do so. It was delightful. I enjoyed our nice, chill, slow, calm little stream as I slowly forgot what words are and how to use them. But Alexa, sing Baby Shark. Good choice. Good choice. All right. Anyway, you guys have been fantastic. For those of you that you don't, see, I can't. You know what? I'm just gonna. Oh, we're gonna cheer a little. You know, we do the arm thing. I thought that would work out better than it did. Doesn't matter. For those of you who donated, thank you so much. You guys are incredible. You help keep this channel going. For those of you who didn't, that's totally cool. I'm just glad you were here and we could talk. And, you know, if you want to hit the like, if you want to subscribe, if you haven't, by all means, etc. I'm looking forward to doing another stream with you guys soon. So, until the next time, don't blame me for the baby shark. Blame someone. Actually, you know what? No, it is my fault because I said it. Until the next time, be good.